Other that you just mentioned, and because there has been talk about, I'll put him out for life, take the captaincy, they'll never play again, all this sort of talk. But now it's just starting to swing around, I think. Maybe we've been overreacting.
Yeah. You know it. You know, you've been in the media a long time, the pair of you, how the outrage machine works. And for the first 24 hours, it is helter-skelter. And then all of a sudden, there are moments, there are things like Malcolm Turnbull putting out press releases and other people climbing on top where people go, well, hang on, is it so bad? And it starts to turn the other way. I suspect, and we'll get to the papers shortly because there is a big story about suspensions. I suspect Cricket Australia has leaked potential punishments for Warner and Smith and Lehmann to fly it up a flagpole, gauge the reaction tomorrow, so by Wednesday they have a little bit more information and then obviously they'll come up with their decision.
Well, although Cricket Australia is only just starting its investigation, the fallout has already begun because Steve Smith has been punted or stood down, whichever you believe, as the Rajasthan Royals captain. He's replaced by Ajinkya Rahane. Now, it's quite interesting the way that the IPL franchise announced this. They said no player is bigger than the team. Tonight there is confirmation that Rahane will take over the reins. Now, he is expected to remain in the IPL and pocket his $2.4 million, but ongoing and in future auctions. I mean, do you see this harming either Steve Smith or David Warner in IPL auctions? They just want the best players, don't they?
Yeah, and surely after a certain period, no one will ever forget, but they'll forgive and
move on.
And you know what? People want to win and people want to make money. And Dave Warner, love him or hate him, pulls crowds. Steve Smith pulls crowds. So eventually we will move on. I mean, Steve Smith will never captain his country again. And I just said this a few minutes ago, the first line of his epitaph, no matter how, he could end up with 15,000 test runs and an average of 60 and be the second greatest Australian batsman of all time. But the first line of his epitaph, sacked as Australian captain for cheating. So that in itself, you almost don't even have to suspend him because that will live with him forever. Now, he does need to get suspended for some time, but it's a pretty brutal punishment to have that asterisk on your career forever. Obviously all self-inflicted, but he has to live with that now for the rest of his life.
He can come back. Shane Warne, I mean, the diuretic scandal, he had 12 months suspension, he came back bigger and better than ever.
You know what, Horsey, of all the things we've done, of the boorish behaviour and the arrogance, and we are bullies, that's the reason the world is loving this, because we are not a likeable group. But we weren't cheats. And now we're cheats. It was the one thing we had in our favour. We could always say, yeah, OK, we play in a pretty hard, aggressive, unlikable manner, but we don't cheat. Well, that's obviously gone forever.
David Warner in the crosshairs. Forget Smith for a moment. And some comments have come back to haunt him, of course.